Hey folks, ET here coming at you with a week ahead look for our three tickers. Once again, we brought our boy Bill Brrr back again. He will close it up for us after I cover mine, and then we will get this out to you. All right, first up is Nvidia for me. I know everybody that thinking about shorting Nvidia is just about like pulling all of your money out of your account and just throwing it in the campfire. But hear me out, we are reaching some interesting levels. First thing I'm going to point out here is that we are very extended from our AVWAP. It's down at 792. I'm not saying that is our target, so I'm not going to say let's just short down to around 800. And there are levels that we need to keep an eye on for where we might want to short, or if we want to just pull back and say nope, it's going to keep going. So that's where we started. Here was with the AVWAP. We'll continue on, kind of moving along as we go. We'll take a look at its dark pool levels. Very, very far extended from its largest aggregate dark pool level at 900, which is still below the target that I'm looking for if we do this, which would be about 950, 960. But we are a little overextended there. There is a large dark pool here at 1051. Keep an eye on if we lose that for downside or if we bounce it for more upside. And I'm actually hoping for some upside first to get us to these levels, and we'll go ahead and check those next. Now we'll look at our customer sentiment. It is starting to wane a little bit as we go. We can go ahead and draw our support resistance levels on here if we want to see where we're going. Around 950 is where I have seen some flow, and I'll show you that here in a second. There's a big support there. I would love for 1100 first, and I'm going to show you why next. But as this customer sentiment wanes, it's pretty strong on NVIDIA when you back test it. So as it goes down, we perhaps maybe start to get that downside move. Let's go ahead and take a look at its gamma really quick and where we're going, and its whale watch, which is what caught my eye originally. First thing we want to look at, 531 dealer OI is bearish, okay? Green is actually bearish on dealer OI, so that matches up just a little bit with that customer sentiment we saw right there. All right, so customer sentiment starting to wane a little bit. It's not quite as bullish. Could just be some profit taking, but we do have a window of weakness right here for this short week that we have. Now, gamma wise, plain and simple, 1100 is the hugest repel level we have on the board. Keep in mind, if we pass this, NVIDIA can go crazy. It can go up to 1150. It could go up to 1200. But what I'm looking for is I want price to hit this spot right here. All right, this 1100, and then target down here to this 1035, maybe this 1000, and then there's another repel down at 950. This would be a bit more of a swing unless something abrupt happens. So what I'm looking for is a rejection, a repel off 1100. Okay, if it does not do that, put an X on it. I do not think about shorting, and instead I think about longing it. But up here is where I'm looking. This is where I want it to go first. Could even take it down to 1050. That's a $50 move regardless, right? But then these repels here, 1035, 1000, and 950, where we're looking now. Let me show you why this kind of caught my eye. Whale watch is a tool a lot of people don't look at, but it's something that I find very interesting, and I keep a look all the time. Whenever I see a level, one of these really pulling hard to some spot, I start to think about targeting that level. So 950 is raising up big time here, and that's why I'm thinking that maybe we get a nice pullback to that 950. We also see 1000 moving here a little bit, which is still further from where we are. And one thing we can do is we can remove the noise, the things that aren't moving or the things that are going down, because what we're looking for is a little bit of that price action coming up. So all of these are going down. There's really no interest in them there, but 950 is pulling up. So 950 is what I'm going to keep an eye on. And if it continues to go up, then I'm going to continue to contemplate targeting a short to there. All right, so that covers NVIDIA for us. Next up, we are going to take a look at FedEx. FedEx is going to be our second ticker before we bring Bill in, and I believe he's covering TEVA, so we'll see from there. So let's go ahead and just jump into FedEx really quick. This is something that I'm looking for in the opposite direction. It's pretty far away from its anchored WAP. It's coming down. If you scroll across here, if you just take a look, you can start to see some price contention around this point. So looking for some potential upside if it bounces. All right, largest dark pools at 258. We are quite far from that at the moment, so good idea to keep an eye there. 245 is the spot that I'll be targeting. We'll take a look. All right, so if we just scroll a little bit and roll around here, we can see right around 250, 245, 240. We've seen some price contention. So if this doesn't bounce, then it might be going back down to 219. So this is one of those ones you could take both ways if it loses a level, but its customer sentiment is starting to wane. It's an inverse on customer sentiment when you back test it, actually. So when it's green, it actually means bearish for FedEx. That's how it works with this particular ticker. Let's go ahead and take a look and jump into its gamma levels really quick and see what we've got. Net flow's been pretty weak, been some calls selling off. Puts have remained flat below there for a little while, though. So what I'm looking at here, it does show a little bit bearish going into next week. So that's an interesting look for me there. But here's what I've been keeping an eye on a little bit. 245 and 240 are some decent repel levels. With 265, we trade green to green. There are some middle ones in there. So what I would like to see is a bounce at 245. If it loses 245 and it continues to go down, I wait to 240, and then maybe I take a long up to this 260. All right, there is some price support around that area, just a little bit in our GEX and VEX profile, further below zero, but it's not below zero here. So really, there's not a whole lot of interesting looks here on this. We'll go ahead and take a look at its whale watch to see if there's anything. There's not a whole lot here either. Everybody's just leaving a lot of positions. Its matrix is also saying some more downside. So what I'm looking for is a bounce, pretty simple, at 245 or 250. And then take it back up to perhaps that dark pool level. Let's take a look at that dark pool level again, around 258.69, which matches up pretty well if you take a look and kind of scroll around and see here where we had some price contention, right? Pretty simple look. The platform is pretty powerful. You can roll around and you can kind of check your own support resistance lines to see if there's some spots that match up with the gamma a little bit, and you can see where that price contention's been. So FedEx, pretty simple. Bounce 245, take it up to about 258, see if it can squeeze past these. If it doesn't bounce at 240 or 245, it's going to go down again, plain and simple. So that's FedEx. Everybody now go ahead and welcome Bill Brrr in. We love this guy. He loves the platform. He always brings positive energy. He's a fantastic educator of how to just generally look for stocks and use the platform. So everybody have a good day. Stay safe out there and go get that Oprah money.
Bill here. Thanks, ET, for having me back on. This week, my top swing watch is TEVA. And TEVA is a power earnings gap that's starting to get tight and flag here on decreasing volume. And it's now an inside week. And every weekend, I scan for inside weeks on TradyTix using Scanny, the stock scanner. Coming up here to these filters, inside week. And then I use my watch list as well so I'm not getting 1,000, results. And then I sort them by relative strength, strongest to weakest. And you can see up here, TEVA's number 3, which is great. It's great relative strength. These inside weeks I like, and inside days, because consolidation tends to precede breakouts. And in a name like this that have made a strong move on volume, we can expect those periods of a big explosive move, some consolidation, pull back and chop, getting tight, and then another leg up is what we want to see. And these inside weeks give us great entries. So here's the inside week low. This is where I'm looking to add full on this position. We have a lot of nice support confluence here with the 9 EMA, that inside week low, and this open bull gap. Should all help act as support. And if we go back over to TradyTix and look under the hood here, we'll see that we've got its largest GEX magnet. Negative GEX can pull price towards it up at 18. And we have very bullish customer positioning. Not a single strike where net put premiums are outweighing call premiums. And that's pretty rare. So, we got a great chart set up and the data confirms it, matches it. And anytime you can get those two things, in agreement, obviously we want to play the chart, but when that data will back up your trade idea as well, that's even better. So this is what I'm watching into that next week. Hopefully it helps, guys. If you have any questions, you can always find me on Twitter and I'll help you out.